No,
I haven't either. I don't know.
and by the way, Jupiter is the planet. And Saturn's on tonight.
Okay.
I call to order the regular meeting of the East Haddam Inland Wetlands and Watercourse Commission on this Tuesday, September 17th, 2019 at 7:30 p.m. Jane, would you call attendance, please?
Randolph Dill,
Here.
Mary Agostini,
Here,
Brian Goff, absent. Daniel Janey, absent. Jennifer Burton Reeve.
here.
I have two sets of minutes. I'm not sure why
Yep.
I do.
Because we didn't,
For the June.
yeah,
meeting.
we didn't approve, they were kind of,
Okay, so for the special meeting, June 27th, are there any additions, corrections, comments?
it was the one thing, I would just rely on the camera.
Okay. Motion?
I move we approve the minutes of the June 27th special meeting.
Second?
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Not all in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Say no. The next set is from our last meeting, August 20th, which is the regular meeting. Any corrections, comments?
I didn't really have anything.
Jennifer?
I approve. Move that we approve the meeting minutes from August 20th, 2019.
Second,
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Opposed, say no. Good. Bills, I have one. And I presume this had to do with the show cause hearing, cease and desist from Halloran and Sage.
I have two of them from Halloween Sage, so one must be a newer one.
Oh, right. Okay.
You have two?
One is for $888, the other is $417.69.
And yes, all has to do with that.
Yeah, okay, because one of them does reference that cease and desist, the other does not. There's just general legal. So they're both the same.
Yep, Shore Road. Yep.
And they were for how much?
$888 even for one, and the other is $417.69. Motion to
I move we pay the bills.
Second,
motions and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion say aye.
aye.
Opposed, say no. Okay, field inspection report. We had 5 sites that we visited. I'm not going to list them all. They can be found on our field inspection agenda for Monday, September 16th. Present for all 5 were myself, Mary Agostini, and Jennifer Burton Reeve, and Jim attended the first 4. Wetlands permit review, item A, continued. W19-1366 Ridgewood Road, Roland A. DePrati, replacement of a retaining wall and patio in the upland review area, Assessor's map 87, lot 78.
We never visited that site.
Yeah, you did.
When?
That was the second
That
one.
was the
we
second
visited.
one.
Oh, okay.
Lake
The
Edward.
patio.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
Come on down. Oh,
I didn't recognize Ridgewood Road, I thought it was like Hayward Road.
Those with a special seat.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I know you explained a few things to us while we were there at the field inspection, so if you just, for the record, just give us a kind of a updated review of what you covered.
Sure.
And which point of-
So there, right now, there are two retaining walls, one near the water and one higher up. And they were both there, from what I can ascertain, built in the 40s and 50s. They were made out of old telephone poles. They've been in disrepair for a while. We're gonna replace them with block walls. And between the two, there's gonna be a patio. We're gonna put some steps down the side to make it a little safer and more accessible. Our goal is to also, there's some plants now in the water to help filter the water going into the lake. We want to expand on that as well. We're waiting for this work to kind of flesh that out and make the whole area more usable.
So there's also a paver patio there,
Yes, between the two retaining walls.
and according to this, and I don't know, I can't remember how big that one is, but this sketch here shows 16 by 9.
Correct.
Is that?
Right, that's what we're going to replace it with.
And the lower wall, you're looking to build that up to 3 feet high, according to the note.
That we measured, yeah, that's what it would be then, yeah. We're not making it any higher than it is now. It'll be the same height that it is now.
And the upper one, which is closer to the road, this says it's 4.5 feet high.
Right now it's about 3 feet, but there's a pitch coming down from the road. What we'd like to do is make that safer by building up the wall and putting some fill in there, and it'll be more even and less hazardous.
And that would be seeded plants?
Yes.
With plants to seed?
Plants,
grass,
yeah, we're gonna
whatever.
plant it, yeah.
So that would be in addition of how much material would you say, estimate?
Well, right now it's about 3 feet, and I think we're talking about 4.5, so it'll be
About 1.5 foot of
right
material
about 1.5 higher.
behind that.
Now,
And these are interlocking bricks?
correct. Yeah, the specs on the bricks are in the back there.
Oh, yes. And that calls for, you know how that's going to be constructed? I mean, I understand the bricks, but primarily there's a silt fence or what am I trying to say?
Well, because these are interlocking, they don't have the same problem as dry stone, so if the soil isn't sopping wet, it may not need the filter fabric behind it,
That's what I was trying to think.
because the interlocking keeps it locked up, but if it's dry stone, then we always have, filter
Right.
fabric so that the
There's the
soil
support
don't
there.
work through it.
Yeah.
And obviously, this thing calls for a compact base at the bottom, so,
Correct.
but that's it's in a side view.
And it's showing a silt fence on the bottom to prevent any
Erosion right on the wall, yeah, correct.
And what would you use for that?
I'm not sure what he specified for that. I can find out for you though. He didn't. I don't think he was specific on what it was going to be made of, but I can find it. I can get it for you.
Well, it's either, filter fabric or hay bales, laid down.
It says block cores filled with crushed stone, also crushed stone 1 foot wide behind the wall wrapped in filter fabric.
Yeah, I noticed that, yeah,
That's there for a reason. I think what happens is that the way these walls work, if they're higher than a certain distance, they need a cover balance, and I think that's what that fabric is for. Give support above the 3 foot level.
As far as the silt fence is concerned, unless you have a contractor doing this?
Yes.
Unless he has something special he uses, you could consider hay bales just to prevent,
Okay.
so you don't have to dig in the filter fabric
Okay.
or the fence, cause
Okay.
more disruption on, the bales, you can just stake them in for the length below.
Okay.
Below the
I'll specify that with him. That would be fine.
Yeah, it would be easier.
Okay.
All right, any questions from commissioners?
The patio is going to be Made of what? The new-
Patio blocks. I think they specified there in the, he specified in the front.
It's nickel lock,
Right.
which is a manufacturer.
Okay. And the patio is the same, it's the same size as the one that's there now,
It's
correct?
a little bit bigger, but the specs are there for that.
Okay. All righty. And where is the little steps? going
The
to
steps
be?
are gonna be on the right, going right where your pencil is, down the right-hand side of the.
Okay,
So it's the south side.
okay. And they go down just from the top to the first level?
Correct, down to the patio.
Okay.
I'm gonna draw those in on mine so that we have a record of it, because it's not showing on this sketch. And those are made out of the same material, I presume, as the.
Yes, correct.
All right, anything else? Motion?
I move we approve the application of W 19-1366 Ridgewood Road, Roland A. DePrati.
Perfect.
Replacement of two retaining two retaining walls and a patio and steps in the upland review area, Assessor's map 87, lot 78, as approved, as stated on, you're gonna put the data?
Diagram, yes, that's right.
On the diagram submitted on September 19th, 2019.
September 17th.
17th, I'm sorry, 17th.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion
Okay.
and a second, any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Good.
Great, thanks, guys.
Okay.
I appreciate the scheduling help you gave me yesterday, I appreciate it.
Okay.
Get out there.
Item B, continued application W 19-14, 261 East Haddam Colchester Turnpike. This is on the Moose Reservoir. Holig Real Estate LLC is the owner. Sheila Gibson is the applicant. This is to install a 4-foot fence in the upland review area. Assessor's map 67, lot 2.
I will be the owner on Friday morning, so.
Can you just state your name for the record, please?
Sheila Gibson, I will be the owner of this property on Friday morning when we close. I applied to install a 4-foot fence in the side and backyard, to protect my dogs. And I took your suggestion, I'll do split rail with wire mesh. And I don't know if I need it out here, I'm gonna put 3 steps on the back of the lower deck so they can get to the backyard and not go to the front yard.
Okay, I don't have a copy of the application. Do you have?
I didn't put that
Actually,
originally.
that's outside of the upland review, the stairways.
Okay,
out
I
of the-
didn't know, so I just
Yeah.
thought I would throw it out there now.
So,
Okay.
Yep.
So you're sticking, although you're changing the sort of the design of the fence, you're still sticking with a 4-foot high
Correct,
fence.
correct,
Except that it's gonna be split rail.
right, wire mesh, right.
All right, pretty straightforward. And you're gonna have, excuse me, you're gonna have a contractor do this for you?
It's gonna be professionally installed and then the property's being surveyed tomorrow by a professional surveyor.
Okay. All right, that's pretty straightforward.
And the fence is what's outlined in the black?
Approximately,
Okay.
correct, it probably is not going to go, I don't want anything near the front, so it would probably go here instead, that's all.
Okay. And that little line across there is where the stone wall is,
Yes,
and this is above it and this is below it?
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was one other thing, I'll just for the record, I don't think, doesn't require permit, there's actually two docks, one is in good shape, the other is not. And you expressed an interest
It's,
in taking out the one that's.
I've already retained somebody to remove the,
That's a good thing.
second dock that's in my
Okay.
store and falling apart, so.
Good.
Along with some other miscellaneous items in the yard that need to go.
I move we approve the application W19-14, 261 East Haddam Colchester Turnpike, Oleg Realty Estate LLC, owner Sheila Gibson, applicant, install a 4-foot fence in the upland review area, assessors map 67, lot 2.
This is,
Diagram dated
I'll date this one.
9/17/2019.
And
I
you
said-
you made a note on that, Jim, about the change in the one
Yep.
little line.
second, the motion.
All right, motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no.
Well, welcome to the town.
Thank you. I'm gonna talk to you about her. I'm associate general counsel, company and our.
We're looking for volunteers.
I know, I'll talk to you about it.
This is good.
Yeah.
Okay, item C, continued application W19-15, 10 Robbie Road. Edward Sikorsky is the owner, Town of East Haddam is the applicant. Stabilize a stream bank and direct flow to existing culverts. Assessors map 56, lot 081.
It was kept on the agenda because we didn't officially remove it from
Right.
it, so it's still on there. Before the previous meeting, I explained to Beth that you wanted better diagrams of the situation, have her show up to the meeting. That hasn't happened. The docket is still officially open till October 23rd.
Okay. Did you also express to her my concerns about, any potential environmental impact of that? I mean,
That was a month ago.
When you're,
Yep.
all right, you did,
Yep.
okay, all right. Because I mean, if she does come forward with a plan.
Well, I have to see something first to,
Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah.
But we may actually, I mean, if she doesn't do it, we may have our environmental analyst take a look at it. All right, so no action on that. I'll just make a motion to continue this to the next meeting.
Second,
Motion in a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
aye.
Opposed, say no. Item D, new application, W19-16, 126 Lakeshore Drive, Lake Hayward, Lawrence M. Lusardi. This is to replace and enlarge an existing deck in the upland review area. Assessors map 80, lot 304.
Since this has to be on the agenda twice, the agent for the owner will be here for the next meeting.
Okay.
I talked to him tonight.
Okay, that one was pretty straightforward. There's an
Right.
existing deck there that's gonna come out, expanded but not closer to the lake. Stairs will come out of off the plan,
So, and be put on the side.
on the side.
So actually, the new plot will be a little less close to the lake than the current one is.
Correct, it'd just be a larger footprint
Right.
Okay,
in the upland review.
there is no application or diagram at this point.
There was a diagram.
But they will be at the next meeting to explain everything.
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
This also, because it's in the one side is going, actually, there is a diagram, it is because the lake edges on an angle. It will be slightly closer to the lake, but by squaring it off. So they also are going to the zoning board of appeals because zoning has a 50-foot setback, so they're at 49 feet, so they're going to the zoning board of appeals. But that'll be October 1st,
a setback from what?
from the water.
Oh, okay. But it's less, but it's a little, it's closer to the lake now than it is gonna be in the future, right?
Well, yeah, if you consider the losing of the stairs, yes.
Oh, okay.
Is that where they cut that corner off?
No, I think that's designed because it kind of matches the other side too.
Ah, I see.
So that is also a change. Cutting the corners, because it.
Well, he had talked about that one corner in the field, because it was
Yeah.
marked in the field that it was kind of,
But I thought
those stairs are coming off.
but these stairs are being removed, but he's putting stairs over here somewhere?
Yep, that's
So
what's in the,
is that what these
Yep,
are?
that's
Yep.
what those are.
All right.
Yep.
They didn't look like stairs to me. That's fine.
All right, I'll make a motion, since this, we can't take it up tonight, I'll make a motion to continue to our next meeting.
Second?
Motion is second, discussion. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Say no. Item B, this is a new application, W 19-17, 91 Lucasville Road, Bruce Dutch is the owner. This is for pond maintenance, assessor's map 64 lot 30.
Bruce, he apologizes, he's out of town, so I'm here on his behalf.
So just identify yourself for the record, please.
I'm Rudolph Hill, excavating president of R&D Excavating. I'll be, removing sediment, or hoping to, out of his pond. These are,
Are these updated?
now, wait, I
Oh,
just, I gave you some measurements,
Oh, yeah.
some actual, three, four.
Three is good. You have one, Jim?
not yet. Do now?
Okay.
Thank you.
We get yours.
And I didn't do it too bad. The other thing I added to that was I actually did go out and measure, approximation of the size of the pond. It was 22.5, so we're close to a half acre.
Okay.
It's 22,500 square feet. Went out there and did the best I could in the rowboat to, find out how deep the sediment is. Closest to the dam is the deepest, we're close to 2 feet, everything else is a foot, and then over on the other, over perpendicular to the dam, it actually goes to almost a solid ground over there, so.
Okay, do you have a sense of what the ground under the original ground is?
There's actually sand,
Oh, sand.
sandy material.
So it's a hard bottom.
It's a hard bottom, yeah. As a matter of fact, with the probe, which is how I came up with how deep the sediment is, you could feel the sediment and go down, and it definitely came to a hard bottom when you push down on the
So,
paddle or stick, so.
So would you be kind of like, just to kind of run us through how you go about the excavation? What machinery you're gonna be using and
Right.
where the spoils are gonna go?
Right, okay, well, I'm actually, we're draining the pond completely of water as much as we can.
So right now, you're relying on just, you don't have a pump, you're
No,
siphoning it.
We're doing siphoning at the moment, correct. And it's, in 2 days, lowered it 1.5 feet, so.
Okay.
And I extended the pipes out today further,
into the pond, you mean?
into the pond further,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
And it's considerably deep right off the dam. It does have in front of the dam, there's a concrete, slab that actually goes down into the pond. That's the deepest point, it's 8 feet there,
Okay.
approximately.
So, but that's only near the
That's only
spillway.
near the spillway. As you work your way out into the pond further, it gets, 6.5 feet.
So what I was
Yes, I'm
asking
sorry,
about last night or whenever it was.
Sure.
So that's just here,
Yeah,
that doesn't
that's this
extend,
here, nope,
it doesn't.
this is,
okay.
no, this is all, yeah.
But you're-
And it was, right, and it was, tough to move around, with all the lily pads in the rowboat, so,
But when you said that It is about 2 feet. That's now since it's been drained, right?
No, it was 2 feet of sediment in that area.
Oh, okay, sediment
Just in that one,
debris.
just in that one
Yeah.
spot, everything else has got about a foot, and then when you get over, see, I got this, they didn't have the,
What, toward the
north,
brook?
south, and then,
Toward the brook, you mean?
but, yeah, well, no, because actually that's not a Brooks, it's more over towards, but something on the map, you don't have, you have anything on there, the one that shows where it says, existing foundation?
Yeah.
Yes.
that's-
Okay. So those were the measurements over towards there. I don't know, what was the question again?
So, Mary, did you have another?
Yeah, when you said, you said the sediment was about 2 feet
Yeah, that's only over by the dam,
by the dam,
and it gets shallower, and it gets about a foot in the middle.
and that's the sediment.
Right, well, that's what, as far as I know.
Right.
So these measurements
Right.
right here is the sediment.
Of the sediment, not the height of the water.
Yeah, well, no,
That's
I
right.
mean,
Well, see, here, this is the water.
Right,
And
7
that's the
feet.
sediment.
But the water has been draining down, but at 7 feet, that would be the normal height of the
Right,
water?
correct,
Once
that's
when
right,
it fills
yep.
back in again?
Right, in other words,
Okay.
it's 8 feet
Yeah.
at the dam, 7 feet at
I
the
gotcha.
next 6.5, and then
Yeah,
4
I
over
gotcha.
there, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I interrupted you.
Oh, right, no,
How you're gonna
we
go
all-
about,
Right, so
excavating.
well, we're trying to make sure all the water's out of there as much as possible earlier, prior to. And then we're gonna get in here with a bulldozer. We're gonna push the sediment to, yeah, that's what I was looking for. It's going towards that, no shutter tree line. We're gonna run towards south. Right, so we're actually gonna be, so that's north, east, west, so we're gonna be pushing it to the west side of the pond.
Where the row of pine trees are?
Towards where the road and the
Okay.
shed and all that.
Yep.
And we're gonna move all the material to that side of the pond. Stockpile it. And silt fence, below it when we're done pushing. And possibly hay baling, to keep any of the sediment from running back into the pond.
okay. You're gonna have another machine there too?
Oh, an excavator for piling, for baling material out off the edge, so the dozer don't have to try and climb into a pile. So we'll be piling, pushing, with a bulldozer to that west edge, and then stacking the materials with an excavator onto that, left side of the pond.
So one of the things I was a little bit concerned about, and that's what I was asking about, how much concrete was along that dam, is you don't want to get too close to the dam, because
No.
you don't want that dam to be breached.
Oh, no, and just, of course, you notice how big that dam is, like
Yeah.
35 to 40 feet wide. So it's pretty,
Yeah.
it's pretty substantial.
And you'd like it to stay that way.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely, you and me both. I wouldn't
yeah.
want to be anywhere near it.
And it's an earthen dam, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yep. And this originally, I guess,
So-
originally was done by Hood and Smith, I think, so.
So once that material dries out, it's not gonna be taken off site, it's gonna be used right there on site.
Right, all gonna be utilized on the site.
Anytime.
To level, drying time next year,
Okay,
probably after the spring. You wanna let the wet season go by and.
And then what, grass it in like
Oh,
it
absolutely, get
is?
it all grassed
Yeah.
in, just like it is, and just,
Okay.
just making, leveling out that, where the spoils are going, to level out that area.
all right.
What did they use that pond for anyway? Just,
Well, it's been there forever, it's Willow Manor, it's, you know, it's, I guess you just, like, right now it's full of,
yeah.
lily
we-
pads, and there's, so he'd like to, once he does get it cleaned up,
So it's,
and then,
people can just paddle on or something like
well,
that?
that's it, yeah, they, I mean, you know, it's a, they can go out there with a rowboat and,
Right.
such, it's a
Recreational.
recreational pond type
Yep.
of thing, Yep, and fishing, I mean, I don't know, there ain't gonna be many fish left when I'm done, but they'll be coming back in, so.
Okay.
Who knows, he may stop again.
And when you're draining everything, this little brook, that's seasonal, it dries out?
Yeah, it's dry as a bone right now, you're talking
Okay.
about the brook to,
Right,
on
the one that's coming
Comes down
into,
from near his house, I think.
right, on the north, it comes from the north.
into the pond, so you're not gonna have to block it off when you drain the
Oh,
rest of the
absolutely, it
pond?
was, yeah,
It's just dry
if
now,
we weren't so late, I mean, last night, or if you guys go out for another walk or whatever, I was out there today, it is dry as a
Dry,
bone over
okay.
there. Yeah, no, it's,
Good timing.
yeah, no, this is the
Yep.
time to do it if we're gonna, so.
All right, since we, I don't know, do you have any other questions?
I don't have any
concerns?
other questions.
Jennifer?
No, I'm good.
Since we can't take any action on this meeting,
Sure,
I think we've got enough information to.
all right, make a decision
Yeah.
next one.
Mhm.
So, and you've gotta get that drained out, so you can't do anything, and it'd be better, the drier it is, the
Well,
better.
that's why we're working on it now, so
Right.
we have that month anyways, you know what I mean, or another, by the time it's drained, hopefully. That'll give us a couple, 3 weeks of dryness. On the edges and such, yep.
All right, very good.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
I make a motion, we continue the application of W 19-17-9 at 91 Moodus Leesville Road, Bruce, Dutch Pond Maintenance, Assessors Map 64, Lot 34, and continue the application to the next meeting.
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. All right, thank you.
Very good, thank you.
Item F, also a new application, W 19-18, 123 Lakeside Drive, Boac. This is to remove and replace an existing retaining wall and install a new dock. Assessors map 58, lot 76.
So this is new. We instructed Mr. Goak to go out and measure the extent of the docks and the rock and all that, and he emailed me today, so that's this weekend's project before it gets too cold. And so he'll be here at the next regularly scheduled meeting.
So at this point, he hasn't submitted any sort of a plan. He was kind of waiting to see what the commission was going to say.
Well, he submitted the dock, the plan that I handed to you with the dock on it, with the length, but that was at 20 by 25, and you told him at that point to come back and
See how long he
give us the depth.
Yeah, I think I gave him enough information so that when he does come back.
He can have a completed plan.
Yeah, because
Okay.
he said he was gonna go out this weekend and deal with it.
All right, I'll make a motion and we continue this one to our next meeting.
Second?
In the second, discussion. Favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Have anything else on my agenda? Anything else?
No new applications, no.
Report?
Mr. Affinito, who was the partner in the Shore Road, called up and said that he's got it on the schedule for about 2.5 weeks to get out there and set up the construction equipment and install the pipe and straighten things out.
This is on the O'Mara.
Yeah,
property.
yeah, so that's there. We had another one on the Simple Hills Estate where I stopped him from working. And I called the owner of the property, because he came right in and said, okay, I'll put together a schedule and everything else. And he's found out that while trying to straighten out a family piece, he says, I have another problem to do, so I'll be down next week, because I also found out that the association has $1,000 lien on our property. Nobody's been paying attention to anything.
Okay.
So I did a title search, and sure enough, they have $1,000 lien since 2016, and He's gonna have to get a lot of signatures, you know, it's more than just him as an owner, so,
All right.
yeah. But no further works occurred there, and that's what I have.
I couldn't help but notice on the way back from Lake Hayward, cut across, I can never remember the road, but by Quinn's house, cut across, there is a farm, it used to be the Troutner place. There's a lot of work going in. I see a skid loader in there. It's a wet area.
This is
On the corner
What's
of,
the-
it used to be the O'Sullivans.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
the one on the corner there where we turn the corner.
Right.
And they were,
They came into us for a barn expansion for their horses.
if
I'll take
that's
a
the
look
right
at it.
corner, is this the Gola corner?
No, this is what,
I mean, it was a
that-
farm before, which,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
it's just a cleanup of stuff.
I think he
bases,
was,
that sort
I
of
know
thing,
on the
something.
front side, he was expanding, which is the Shulman Veslock side, you're talking about the corner of Newberry and Shulman Veslock?
Yeah, I mean, it's going
Yeah.
on both sides. They put a
Right.
new fence
Okay.
in there, and
Yeah.
clearly they're gonna do something with horses.
Yeah.
But it just appeared to be, looks wet, but I think it is wet.
Yeah, it probably is.
Something.
Here's that other
Yeah.
corner where it doesn't look like he's following the plan too
And
well.
I've also talked to the property owner there, that's the former urban property
Right.
across, yeah, I talked to the owner about
Because
that.
we
so.
kind of passed that on our way.
Yep.
And it didn't look like
He
what
stopped
we
working,
approved.
Didn't look like anything.
and he,
No.
he stopped working, and now I have to, since the tenant
Mhm.
and the property owner both have to come back in.
Okay,
Property owner just lost his mother a couple of weeks ago, so I've cut him a little slack.
Anything else?
I've been just, well, the other is that, you know, town's working out on Ackley Road, and I've been going out there every other day, but they did install the erosion control as I asked around all the stream crossings, the vernal pool.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, in the past, and since that's the upper reach of the 8 Mile, I know there's concerns about that.
Yeah.
But in the past, the way the road is, couldn't do anything about it. There's a lot of stuff, silt and sand that's come down that hill, fill that stream.
So
Pretty
they're,
good delta of material.
they're actually looking to add a lot of soil back to spots so that it can shed off before getting to the streams. So there will be some changes out there.
do they have any kind of a plan or, no? Okay,
Sometimes it's, in this case here, no, there's not a per se plan. We've gone up, but we have gone through section by section and talked about that.
oh, yeah, you have
Yeah.
with them.
You know, it
I
would
know.
be,
Because the
it'd
road's
be
closed,
a
you
good
can't-
courtesy for the public works director to come in here, at least sit down with us and say, this is what we're planning on doing. Make sure that, you know, we're not doing anything you're gonna have
That
heartburn
would-
with.
That would be, no, I can't say that. I'll save that for,
Well, the commission can request it though.
can't ask what you don't know.
I mean, we could send them a note saying it would be,
Well, you know, I tell you what we're going to do, I think we're gonna do field walk. Point where we go to Sunday field walks, we've got some time, I think we'll take a walk up there, just, I know it's under construction now, and I don't know, maybe we shouldn't wait, maybe we need to do it sooner rather than later.
Well, let's put it this way, if it goes wrong, I'll stop in their tracks, but, the foreman actually does know what he's doing, so that's a good thing.
if we have that field work, I think we should probably invite Pat to it since it's
8 Mile River.
8 Mile River. I mean,
I mean, no, you know, it's
just so
been
they
a,
know.
it's been a problem that's been
Yeah.
put into a chute, and all it does is force it into
Yeah.
the stream. The goal and the objective in this is to raise the level of the road some places so that you could get it off the road, still keep it gravel, but get it off the road before it hits the wetlands and the water courses. Because the way it's set up now, it's just had centuries of dropping down.
Well, it used to be, I have to tell you, they used to do a better job. In fact, when Consumer Reports was taking care of that road, they were doing a much better job of
Yeah.
shooting it off before it got down to the streams.
Yeah.
So
So the idea was on the sides that have stone walls, they're staying perfectly, the stone walls are staying in place. The sides that, and it just happens to be that in most cases where that occurs, that they're able to gain some by cutting and pitching it to the opposite
So are
side.
they taking out the, because there are stone walls?
No, the
on-
stone walls are staying in
are staying,
place.
okay, that's good.
He said, that's a holy grail, he said, I don't wanna get shot, so.
Okay.
He's kept the stone walls in place. There were trees that were hanging into the middle. They're being pulled and stumped out. And there is gonna be some regrading to pitch it so it doesn't make it to the streams in the wetlands. That's the, and to try to break it off more often than long extended runs on the gravel road.
Yeah, because that little stream is kind of in a hollow.
Yeah.
Both sides of that road are owned by the, Middlesex?
No, actually East Haddam Fishing Game.
That's the
Yeah.
East Haddam Fishing Game.
Yeah. And they've walked every piece of inch with it with their, not only the person in charge of maintenance, but the officers. So they've done a good job of communicating with the property owner as what's gonna go tree by tree by tree.
That's new.
No,
Have they started construction on their new facility yet?
now,
No.
that's kinda,
Okay.
remember about the 36 members and the 48 opinions? They're still in the rethinking phase. And they also expressed interest after the September storm from Joffrey Road down. Some of the pools ended up with a lot of sediment, and they're gonna come back in March to talk about renovating them to make them so that they can sustain cold water fish again.
Oh, some of those, we were out there with some pools a few years ago.
That'd be quite a few years
Yeah,
ago,
it was.
quite a few,
That we
yeah.
walked in the 2 or 3 pools that they were digging out a little or putting a dam in or
That was
something.
before me.
Yeah, no, it was a while back.
It's been a while.
But they
Yeah.
keep them nice and neat so you can walk to them easily.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Anything else? Conservation Commission report?
Might I make a comment on the previous discussion?
Sure.
There was an entire year when the 8 Mile could have been contacted for this project. Should have been, so that, because we do have the Corps of Engineers and multiple issues, anything in the watershed. And I know other towns have to jump through more hoops than we jump through here. So, I understand what they're doing, and I think it's fine, and getting rid of the water more often and reestablishing leak offs is important, but, at some point, the 8 Mile should have been notified. Mary's well aware what. Yeah, I think we're in agreement on that, Mary, so, but moving on. So, the bridge that was a footbridge in the, Rose Farm Preserve, crossing Hemlock Valley Brook is about 95% complete. We're dealing with lots of water where there was none, and finally having it dry out a little bit. We did change the plan slightly, which actually has less impact on the wetlands. We just went to a bog bridge rather than put any posts in the ground or anything, so it's just sitting on the mud. So, if it sinks or whatever, we can just add to it and keep it fairly level. So, but it's total length, because we did not use any part of Ray of Light Farm, is about 220 feet long, so, of which 90 feet is elevated with railings on it, so. We're almost there, we have about 30 feet of railing to finish up and then clean up the site.
How wide is that bridge?
It's just 3 feet.
And it's just sitting on bogs, so.
So, yeah, so the first section is on the bogs, and then that's 120 feet long, plus or minus, and then it's elevated. We use those diamond piers, I don't know if you remember, where we drive in steel anchors or steel pipes on angles, and there. That's what the bridge is built off of. So there's a 32-foot span, and 24-foot span, 2 20-foot spans, where they bring it back down to grade, close to grade, so.
So how high is it from the ground?
Portion that's a bog ridge is, you know, a foot, 8 feet.
Oh, okay.
The higher elevation where it ramps up is 3 feet.
Over where the
3.5
river
feet.
is, yeah.
That's the main thing that would be impacting, where we had a permit. We'll be looking at a parking lot tomorrow and a potential parking lot out on the Shrew piece by Ackley Cemetery. There's a little stream in the back or some sort of drainage I noticed when I jumped over it. I almost fell into it in all the shrubbery and vines and everything, and you couldn't even see that it was there, but, so we may be back. I expect we'll be back for a review on small parking area there for that property in the near future. We're gonna mow it hopefully very shortly so we can see what's in there.
Now, where precisely is that? I know where the cemetery is.
Yeah, so it's about, I'm gonna say less than, approximately 300 feet, I'm gonna say east of that on, well, it used to be Town Road, what is it now? They changed the name.
Yeah.
You mean the road that goes up to the farm?
Farm,
Goes
yeah.
up to the top of the hill.
So it would be, as you're going toward the farm, it would be on the right.
Right, yep.
Yes, going towards the farm, be on the
On the
right, I'd
right.
say south, but,
Well, it's kind of hard to,
so, yes. And it's I think it was
Okay.
a log landing or something like that, not very clear,
okay.
so. You know, it's all jewelweed and bittersweet and, you know, there's a 4-foot weed, it's in there. So, that's all I have.
Thank you. Anyone else have anything? Motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all.